flat.
So speaking of freezing things, Kitty is looking into some cryotherapy, perhaps for her arthritis, and yeah. So what they do, they put you in this fucking chamber. They put you in this just dry air chamber, apparently, so it's not as bad. But they lower it to like negative 270 something degrees, and for like 3 minutes of exposure.
Survive this, and whatever was fucking with you is gonna seem like not a big deal.
and she was saying she's a little scared to be in there by herself, et cetera, et cetera. I was like, fuck it. I'll go to cryotherapy with you. Let's do this thing. So I'm gonna go to cryotherapy with her, and I'm gonna get in this tank. They say it's good for your skin, so I'm looking forward to a few of these treatments. Gonna knock a few years off. It's gonna be nice.
Dude, I wish
You're gonna be looking 26 in no time.
I wonder if an iPhone can.
Maybe I'll bring a
iPhone
camera in there.
Survive cryotherapy. And how naked do you get? Do you wear boxers in it?
She said something about that. You know, there's some sort of, you wear some stuff. There's some stuff you wear. There's like a face thing, and I don't know. You're not naked at all. It's swimwear at the lowest, if that makes sense. I think you're in something.
It's like something to keep you warm.
No, I think it's just to like keep your face from freezing off or something. I don't know. I don't fucking know anything about this shit. I know Robin Quippers did it.
Could your eyeballs freeze?
I told her I was
270
spit on.
Cold.
I was no way it's negative 270.
Yeah, I was like, I'm gonna spit on you, and she's like, ew, freeze before it gets to me. I was like, that's the point. That'll be hilarious.
Wait, are you gonna? I thought it was a one-person booth, like smaller than a phone booth.
Fucking look.
Oh, just open your mouth and see if your saliva starts to freeze.
I thought about wetting my hair before I went in and seeing if I could like shatter some hair off or something. I thought that would be.
I can't wait for that to go wrong. And it's just, you got like a half-inch divot, like a bad ball took a swing at your head.
I just shattered like Terminator 2.
Does water get that cold?
Yeah.
Does water just keep freezing?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. What?
How cold can water get?
32 degrees.
Is that literally the coldest it can be? Like how cold is
it'll
really
just
cold?
Be ice if it gets colder.
Like, okay. I guess how cold can ice get? Is there no limit on how cold ice can get?
There's absolute zero, but that is.
I think ice doesn't get colder than 32. That's why in Florida, like when it's going to freeze over, they'll spray the oranges with water because it'll make an ice like shell around them, and they'll only drop to 32 degrees rather than the negative 10 degrees that the air might be outside. So ice only goes to 32.
On the other side, for the hot stuff, ice only hits 212. You can modify it, like if you put salt in it and stuff, it'll get a little warmer. And I've experimented with this. If you put a water bottle in a fire, like let's say you have a half-full water bottle, like the kind you drink from, the top half of it will melt, but the part with water in it doesn't melt, even in the fire and coals, because the water, it evaporates rather than getting hotter than 212, and it'll just keep the plastic from melting until it evaporates out of it.
Yeah.
Negative 55 is as cold as water gets. Under normal atmospheric conditions, it freezes at 32. Okay.
That's what I was about to say. That would also change the scenario you were talking about in the fire. Like the atmospheric conditions, like the pressure would definitely change things up and down. But
I don't think so, because water won't get higher than 212 because it will become steam.
But in like a pressure cooker, you keep it.
I follow. Yeah, and as a matter of fact, in a radiator, it goes over 212, which is like a pressure cooker. Yeah.
We should leave. Physics isn't our strong suit by any means.
No. We need to forge steam talk.
You want to forge ahead with our talk of physics? How did we get on this anyway? Where did this come from?
Cryotherapy.
You were talking about. The cryotherapy.
We really should just look up cryotherapy and see what
is it supposed to. I don't understand. This seems like a crock of shit.
Cryotherapy. Let's learn.
So let me ask you this, Taylor. You know when athletes take an ice bath, is that a crock of shit?
No. I feel like this is so cold that it's like, aren't there diminishing returns once you get colder than an ice bath? It reduces inflammation.
It's much shorter. An ice bath is meant to do that as well.
Oh, I guess how long are you spending in this cryogenic chamber?
1.5 to 3 minutes.
Oh, so real quick, because I guess you would die.
I thought it was quicker. I thought it was like a blast. Like you go in there and like 9 seconds later, you've been cryoed. 3 minutes will cool you off.
Here. Let's see.
You're gonna get the real Leonardo DiCaprio Revenant experience in there.
It looks like a sauna, like a stand-up. Like I'm seeing one here that looks like a little room. Here, let me help.
Yeah, I'm at that same link. And I don't know much about it, but I saw an MMA fighter do it, like they whatever Insider or something, and it was like this. It was a small room. They went in there. You couldn't see what happened in there, and then they came out, and you know, like you see a freezer open and all the like fog drifts into the ground.
Yeah.
That happened, and the fighter emerged from cryotherapy.
That'll be fun. I'm looking forward to that. When she mentioned it, I was like, yeah, I'm totally down. So and she was worried about the whole thing, so I'm gonna go do that. That'll be cool.
Yeah, I wonder if more athletes would. I think it's expensive for it to be in your like regular thing. Like if you want to try it like you are, that's one thing. If it was like your post-workout routine, all of a sudden you're like, $500 a workout or something. I made that up, but
Yeah. Yeah, I have no idea the cost. I know her insurance is covering the bulk of hers for sure, but I'm looking forward to seeing what that's all about. That'll be interesting. Inflammation, all that stuff. That sounds good. Maybe I'll feel
This
better.
looks more scientific than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah,
Maybe it's because I'm reading it from their website. But I'm putting a lot of trust in them that they're
Were
not.
you imagining like a Mr. Freeze scenario from the Batman movies?
I was imagining them having you close your eyes and then a bunch of people with those fans that you can mist on people just kind of move those around you. Get ready, it's going to get intense. It won't quite feel minus 100, but shh.
Yeah.
But no.
oh wait,
I think it's gonna be-
there's an
seems-
answer here. In the cryo sauna, clients are protected with socks, gloves, and slippers. In the cryo chamber, I guess the smaller one, clients wear additional mouth and ear protection. Clothing worn during the treatment is minimal. For women, clothing is optional. For women, clothing is optional, while for men, genitals have to be covered with cotton underwear. Now, to be honest,
I guess that's for scientific
You
reasons.
don't want your
I
nutsack to just
expected the
crisp
At
up
opposite.
first,
and
I
fall
was
off.
like, sexist, but then I was like, oh wait, there's a good reason for that.
right, like your nutsack could
Yeah,
freeze
there's a
off,
good
like
reason for
like it's an appendage that has issues. I was wondering if women, who sometimes are like, I feel like it's a moister, more exposed organ, would have more to risk than guys, who to me, it's a very closed organ, like a hand.
Like there'd be stalactites and stuff when they're walking out of there.
A vagina might just freeze shut or something like that.
Right?
Is that what? Yeah.
Like, it sounds crazy, but we are talking
Really
about
clam
negative
up.
270 here. Like, clam up.
Please.
Right? Like,
I want that. I want a big Austrian guy to come in with like a big fucking like backpack rig that looks like a flamethrower, but it's an ice machine. He's like, it's time to freeze, and then we're like, holy fuck, is this really what? And he's like, just kidding. And they're like, they turn the machine on.
I don't know that. I feel like couldn't she take an ice bath and
Look,
see
man.
if that worked really well for her too?
I think it's a completely different thing. I don't know. I'm not saying this thing works or that there's anything scientific behind it, but there's definitely a big difference between like hitting the outside of your body with negative 250 Fahrenheit, and getting in a 32-degree bath, which I feel like would lower your core temperature. I feel like what this thing is more of like a shock to your exterior. I would think. She mentioned it being good for your skin, and I'm nice and vain and about to be 30, so why not?
when's
Do you
your
think it would
birthday?
be possible to
Can you say
masturbate
that?
in this chamber?
May 9th.
May 9th.
Yeah.
So
Do you think it would be possible
3
to jack off
weeks-ish.
in this chamber if it was like a dare?
I considered that, but I was afraid. Like, what if I'm going to use some lubrication? So I guess the oil. If I use like some mint oil, like that doesn't have a freezing point. So if I could keep it going fast enough to prevent any freezing, I could blow some icy loads, right?
Right? What?
Until
freeze.
it freezes, like with a little bit left to go of your urethra, and it's
That's
just
fear.
a kind of bootleg
I think we'll
kidney
keep that
stone.
wrapped up. I'll strap on some MeUndies, and that'll be all I need to keep everything in line. I will spit in there though when nobody's looking. I'm gonna do it. They can't stop
Well,
me.
I mean, they said that you had to wear cotton underwear. Maybe the modal is too good,
Kyle,
and it would keep you too warm to be effective. I would think just wear the cotton. Modals, it's too high quality.